So I'm Adopted podcast, where we talk everything adoption. This journey is not one we take alone. Together we grapple with raw emotions that surface from adoption stories. We want you to be comfortable enough to heal. So sit back and go with us on this journey as we dive deep into adoption.
Hey family, check this out. So we want to give you a sneak peek, a conversation that we had with amongst our family, just about the backside and the not so often spoke about conversations dealing with adoptees and just some things that we dealt with. We had an opportunity just to have some real life conversations and somebody pulled out a phone. So here's an opportunity just to take a look at it. So check it out.
So Dion expressed he felt almost like, well, we your family, what are you looking for? And what I had to share with him was, although it wasn't a void of love, it wasn't a void of, oh, I need this, I need that. When he went to his house, he could look at Uncle Philip and Auntie Faye and know I came from them. When Cheryl went home, Auntie Sharon, Uncle Willie, and it was no question. So for me, well, for them, it was nature, but for me, it was nurture. I didn't have the nature and nurture to go. So there was that unknown, right? When it really bothered me because I knew I was adopted, that was conversations we were having in our house. They weren't having those conversations. So for them, it was just, oh, that's cousin John. That's my cousin. That's my big cousin, my little cousin. That just was what it was. So for me, I always had yeah, that's my family, but where do I come from? Like, do I have any siblings? Do I have any? And it's not, two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't a Janice became with J-Lo that it really, like, I felt less than. Because I couldn't answer the questions of family history.
Yep.
Janice was able to check all the boxes and give, yeah, we got this, we got that. And I'm sitting there like, for lack of better words, boo-boo the fool, like.
You know what it was? It was the question of sickle cell anemia. That one question, they were like, do you have the trait? Are you a carrier or something? And we were like, we don't know.
I have traits. And that's all I could really say. She was like, well, what's your dad's sister? And, the nurse, she was just doing her job.
Yeah.
But not having the awareness that everybody doesn't have the traditional dynamic. So it just was, it hurt me. And Janice saw the hurt on my face, and I internalized and definitely moving. And that's why when Jayla was born,
I started looking. Remember, I started looking then.
Yep.
And then your mom shut us down.
Right.
And that's the difference between it, because everybody else is used to it. Our adoptive family is used to the situation. For me and John, we may be used to it, but once it really becomes a thing, it's not a used to, because once we found our adoptive family, y'all lives still went on like normal. Right? But our lives didn't. Everything changed. Our thought process changed. I can speak for me. My thought process changed. But like my aunt go, oh, well, Lisa, are you going to do the family reunion? What? No, I just found out I was adopted. What do you mean I'm going to do the family reunion? You know what I'm saying? That's the thought process, because they've been living with it for 40 years. I just figured it out almost when I turned 40. So it was a change for us. Not to say we don't love our family any less, because you've been there from day one,
And that was the thing Dion said, he was like, you mine. That was his comment. I was like, I know. And he was like, are you going to gravitate towards them and walk away from us? It's the unknown.
Yeah.
And like I told him, I said, I had to learn how to be sober in it and be protected. There was a season where I wasn't sober, where I was just like overly excited. And I had to take into reality of how it impacted the girls and Janice. And again, I didn't look at it like that. I'm looking at it like I'm getting my answers. There's tunnel vision.
Yeah.
But for them, there's a dynamic of, well, now is this relationship that I forged with Myra disrespectful to my game? And at their age, young as they were, that's a reality. That's a truth that they have to navigate. So now, I've had to really sober up and step back and say, I'm gonna let y'all do what works for you and not push it. Because there was a season where I'd push it, and that's, my fault. That was my truth and my excitement to find my answers and my, lineage. But looking back on it now, that was the wrong way to handle.
That is, I wouldn't say it was the wrong way to handle it. It's because, again, they're not in our shoes.
Right.
And for me, it was also new. I mean, I was on the phone with my mom 24/7. I was like, just guarding everybody else's house.
Right.
Because it was so, you're like want to absorb as much as you can.
Trying to make up a lost time.
Trying to make up for lost time. So I wouldn't say it was the wrong.
Or
But on some type of level, I don't want to apologize for it because of at least the magnitude of what was going on. But I do apologize for me kind of disconnecting with the rest of the family.
Well, I think what John is saying is that, and it's not the so distant past. What he had to come to terms was he's in his process and we're giving him space to have that process. We letting him do the 24/7. He's texting Myra all day, every day. Like, I just bought a new pair of shoes. I just want to tell you about it.
Because we become like those little kids again.
But the thing is, if we were giving him that space, well, what he did is he pushed Myra on the girls and wanted that excitement and was upset that they weren't excited the way he was excited. And so they were going through their process, and it would turn into John getting very upset, disappointed, mad. Like, why don't you want this? Why don't you want to, right? But they had to do it at their own pace.
Yeah.
Just like we wanted to give John his own pace, you have to give us our own pace because they're, young. Remember when Maya and Jasmine and TC were younger, they had to figure it out and process it, which, by the way, children, there'll be a new podcast with just the children. We're going to bring y'all together. Now that me and Titus already had our podcast moment. But like Jordan, this wasn't like the last, this wasn't the not too distant past. We were just at FAMU.
Yeah.
And John was like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? Are you sure you don't want Myra? What do you mean? And it wasn't that Jordan didn't want Myra at the graduation. She did. But it was like, you didn't even ask me, like, Myra and Moses are coming. I need to prepare myself. Give me a chance to prepare myself. And so I think her response.
I'm not laughing at this. I was laughing at when I found my mom. I don't think I consulted with Jasmine whether my mom was coming to her graduation or not.
Right.
This is your first grandchild graduate college. Oh, you're coming. And I mean, she was like, but she came. Didn't know it's from Adam, but she came and she stayed at our house and we went to the graduation, right? And I don't think I consulted you. You did. So,
I didn't feel it. That's not the person to ask, though. Jasmine's going to be excited about stuff. I'm with that.
Me, I'm really like,
yeah, I had a problem because I'm a family person in the war area, and I knew this is a big deal. Then I also realized that looking at it from her head, I thought about how my grandma, like her being able to experience that, be like, oh my goodness, I'm witnessing my first grandchild. I mean, I'm not her oldest grandchild, but I'm the first one of hers to walk across the stage to get my bachelor's degree. And then went on and got my master's, and then, just continue to do great things. But that's something new for her that she wasn't used to from her previous grandkids. Not saying that they weren't successful, because they are. Everyone's doing very well, but again, everybody has different paths. So the fact that, everybody wants their kids to go to college and get degrees and, better their life. So the fact that, oh, I got a grandchild that's about to, who am I to try to take that experience or had any lip to that to say, no, I don't want her to come. Like, why would I not?
But you have to understand her path also, to where, as we learned later on, how she was almost like the dark sheep in her family, because they always talk like, they're not doing anything
It was just a dark sheep situation, with Lisa.
Yeah, they always put everybody in front of her, and they kind of thought that because she black, she put family.
So, getting back to how Lisa said she separated herself from everyone. When mom, she got her mother. I think what made that situation so different was that everyone else been
Yeah.
except for you. So that was a different type of embrace because
Because you,
they knew
yeah.
that you were adopted, but no one said anything until, grandma. Right. Other question. So how late were you found out?
Don't let her
Almost,
answer.
almost 40.
She's 37. So, Maya, how did you feel when your grandmother came to Jasmine's graduation? Well, I mean, for her graduation, that was cool for her. And it was a different situation in the beginning. I feel like I was probably more excited about it because we didn't know for so long and stuff, not to your point. But then I think for me later down the line, I'm like, all right, all this family and stuff, all these people. It wasn't a lot. It was just like, all right. Like I felt, especially back then, I wasn't as social.
And she wasn't
I wasn't as
around.
open to like new people and stuff. And I wasn't around because at that time I was in college and I was cheering. So I missed a lot of stuff. But I felt like it was overwhelming at some point. The excitement of me and her being around for stuff like that was cool. But then when it came to just other stuff later, it was just overwhelming.
So the newness world.
Yeah, it did for me.
But I think that, and this is the part where, like she just said, we get into this zone because it's like, for so long, I haven't known, and now that I have it, and like we can't even describe that feeling of I get to find out these answers, and I just want to glean every little bit that I can. And our mindset is, well, if I have this, why aren't you as excited for me to and walk with me?
Yeah.
And that's why I say that that's our vision, and sometimes it's wrong for us to think that everybody else should have that as well.
Yeah.
Although on one hand, we're entitled to it, but we can't expect everybody else to have the same thing that we have.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So Yvette,
Hey.
Deanna shared his place, his mindset, because Yvette and Dion and myself and then Shell, we all grew up together. It was the four of us. So Yvette, how did you feel when I said, hey, I found my first family, my biological family? What was your independent thought process on that?
Well, I was happy for you because I knew you had questions about your mom and where you came from. But the opposite part of that was what were you going to do now with us that you found your new family? Like, well, you going to distance yourself from us or try to separate yourself from us. And I'm like, just like my brother, you belong to us. And so I understand that this is your birth mother, so we're your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're our cousin. We were, I've been from an early age that you were adopted, but we weren't raised like that. You know what I'm saying? We were raised not just like cousins, but almost like brothers and sisters who was always together. So it's like, okay, so I'm going to just see if you will try to switch up on us because I'm going to see how long that can last. But in the day, we will have conversation, but this and that took.
That's interesting that y'all thought that I was going to like turn on y'all, that I was going to be wishy-washy.
And you know what? It's true because, like, my cousin Monica said the same thing. She's like, who's this woman? What's going on?
No, it's not the fact of me turning. For me, it's more kind of protection. But no, all right, so you found your biological family. All right, you're excited about it. I'm saying, but in the process of me lying, somebody done got by and said, okay, we're trying to make sure you don't go in your earth because of his excitement. I'm saying he's just going full force ahead. I'm saying, but it's okay. What if he goes out there and he finds out something he really don't want to find out? Name's Hopper.
Hands down. Absolutely. And I will tell you, this one that was sitting over here, that was her, like, from the door. She said, John, listen, I know you're excited, but she began the what ifs. What if they don't embrace you? What if, they look at you differently? We don't know them. They don't know us. What if their intent is to hurt? What if they think your intent is to hurt? So all of that, I think, and I'm thinking that was the common denominator with all of you. And again, there were times where I had the non-sober moments, but I'm at a place now where I'm learning to let it happen organically. I will be lying if I said that there isn't an excitement. Like I said, when we walk into the Kia Center and everybody being in there but Jordan from Virginia, especially because we haven't had that here. So to have my family here, that alone was priceless. And then after that, I'm like, I went to a place I wish Gambia was here. I wish Virginia was here. And then it was two things can be true at one time. At the same time, they're not here, they're here in spirit. But I'm also thankful that my biological mom. So it's not like I'm replacing, but it's a plus, that I'm able to have. Because it's not she's trying to replace who Gambia was. But go ahead, Phil. Jake.
Part of me saying that plus when I in Nigeria, when I graduated, I never got a consult coming. It was you were excited and talked to her every day, so I expected her to come. I was like, Jack, I'm not gonna tell you. She can't come, and she shot up. She gave me an amazing gift. She was really sweet and welcoming, but we were all like, this is either gonna be the most beautiful story ever or the worst nightmare or the worst. You know what I mean?
You just never know what could come from it in that beginning time.
I know, but we was oblivious to that because we were finally getting to know a blood relative outside of our kids and the mother, not because mom. It was our mother, so it carried us for 9 months. So it was.
And the other piece, what you all
I
have.
remember she says about that. Yeah, I remember saying like Mimi's vision for me should be, I don't want to graduate high school and get married. Like I remember it saying that, and I was like, well, I got one of those things off, and it was on. I remember the conversation like, oh my gosh, they're not here to see this. Your granddad wasn't there to see it. He was there to see it, and the conversation was, well, Maya will be there to see it, and I was like, well, that's not the same. Right. She's a bonus. I'm happy she's there. I'm happy to have a grandmother there, but it's not.
Because you didn't have that lineage where she saw you from kindergarten.
Yeah. And you just had to have that conversation.
Right. It's different.
And to be blunt, I think failing, but I think you have spatiality.
I do. I get it.
I can relate to that, Jayla.
But the other piece was, and again, this is my, I don't want to say immaturity, but immaturity in the journey, newness in the journey, where my mindset was, well, you have your mom.
Yeah.
Why would you not want me to have that?
It's not that we don't want you to have.
No. I'm just telling you that in the newness of the journey, that was some of the thoughts that were swirling around of how I was framing my thought process.
I expected her to be here with us more. I think it was just the Rex was more. Not even how fast, just the not her boss place. You wanted it to slide in perfectly. It's like, no, he stopped. You get to know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but check this out. Although you say fast, it's been 8 years. Because it was 2018. I'm 7 years.
No. You say fast.
Fast as in when she actually comes.
Yeah, we
like,
have it.
Since you physically met her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't meet her until.
Gosh.
I'm not saying it's fast. I'm saying it's not a replacement. We still got to get to know her.
Right. It's not a integrating into the family. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, it could be seamless.
Hey,
I know you're watching the video right now. I know you're enjoying the conversation that we're having with our family, but I just wanted to jump on real quick and say, hey, if you like what you're listening to, please hit the like button, hit the share button, share it with your friends, your family members, and subscribe. Please subscribe. Any comments, please let us know how you're enjoying it. If you want to come on the show or whatever, we are here to listen to all different types of relationships. So back to the conversation.
So, Joe, I got a question for you. How did you find out, or what was the discussion, or what was your reaction when you found out I was adopted? Because I know the relationship you and Aunt Carol, as you call them, had. Because, I mean, you didn't always know. How did you find out, and then?
How did I find out you were out there? I think it was maybe a conversation after, it was all over. We had gotten married. And I was like, what do you mean that John's not Hi Girl? John is adopted. What? And that's how it was. I didn't know. But it wasn't no deep discussion. But like the question for me is, we did and it's not funny, but Dion takes, and you know this, I don't know what it is, but I thank God for it. The bond that this family has, I married him to it. And when I said my hosting taste is so serious, so my prayer now is, please, Lord, whatever malice intentions are, please let them be pure and good. And I don't want it to be where this lady is doing her best and everything's working, and she sneezes wrong. My husband, that's the way these like. What she said? What she do? Should be. Well, calm down. It's going to be that, along the journey. And he's at that. Like, don't, Because he's been like this since he was young. That's his big cousin. That's his little cousin. He's big, but he takes it so serious. And it really, really had been an adjustment for him. Even coming here, the look of, I see.
I told him that upset, and I said, a lot of times God just be saying, "Oh, it's a backline," but I always watch. And so I told you that upset.
Say that. He was like, even with her husband being at the hotel and that dynamic, he said, we communicated, it was good. So all of that to me is just the organic reality taking place. And I'm thankful for this trip was a lot larger than I think we all realize. There's so many different dynamics that occurred, and it was just a reset. And Jordan was under the impression, like, I never forget, the kids were, Munch had stopped going to CCA. CCCA? How many C's? Calvary Christian Academy, CCA. Why we used to say CCA?
Because the church is probably CCC. Yeah, yes. That's the name of the church. But yes, yes.
And Munch had stopped going there. And who's older? You or G?
Jasmine.
So you had graduated. And I remember Jordan was like, are they going to come to my graduation? As a little child, like it was a big to do.
I remember my graduation party. There was y'all had, this was my high school graduation party, and y'all were talking about who doing y'all?
That was scholarship.
Yes. Oh, you made a scholarship come. So y'all was talking how to do a scholarship, and then Uncle John was like, so, because I had the youngest kids in the event that we are all not rain at that time.
And I was fresh to the crew too.
You were fresh. You were like 2 years in. He was fresh.
My paperwork wasn't need to dry.
They were not dry. You were still in a probationary period. Oh, not. So at that point, it's like to see that, and that was in 09 because I graduated high school 09 to now 2025. That's like 16 years later. That's crazy. We could have did the scholarship on.
So what's even crazier, place?
Go ahead.
So what's even crazier, and I was explaining to them how you all knew Janice before me.
Mm-hmm.
You all adopted him into the crew.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I shared with them upstairs, we were talking just about non-traditionals and different things that in her previous marriage, that was normalcy for y'all. So when I came in, it was, oh, he's a new guy.
What was normal?
Come on.
Just her being with you all and her husband.
Yeah.
That was the norm. And until they chat, no, hear me out. I'm just saying that those were the pieces of the puzzle.
But that's how we knew on Janice.
Okay.
That's how we knew on Janice.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
He wasn't part of it, but he wasn't part of the crew.
Right.
But he was a part of
Admit.
He was a part of us.
yeah.
Correct. He was a part of you all.
They were both
Yeah.
part of us.
Yeah.
So
So
me
we
co-
really adopted Uncle John
right.
The Sack kids adopted Uncle John.
for sure.
Sap it.
Yep, the Sapad. I ain't heard that one in a long time. I haven't heard that in a minute.
I think we started clicking after that. You old.
Which one was that? Oh, was
We all did that one. Uncle Wayne did it too. Uncle Wayne did that one too.
I think that's when everything kind of just solidified, just something different. Because it was me, you, Wayne, and there.
Yeah. And that was all crew. And
I was really like, oh, you
it's for you not to merge into that. But in all fairness, Dietrich was never part of that. Yeah, he wasn't a part of that.
I said it.
He was rolling with
He
things.
was a part of the Sack.
Oh yeah, that's that.
Because Janice and him spent a lot of times with us when we were kids.
So the simple fact that they were able to, like,
Transition and embrace.
Seamlessly, might I add, yes. On our end.
So for me, again, not knowing all details.
Yeah.
For me, it was, okay, that's the crew. So I was at a place where, okay, I don't know where I fit, but I know my affiliate to her. So I don't know if they're going to embrace me or not. So I had to, again, walk very cautiously and just say, this is who I am. It was a struggle. Like, even when we made a decision, I was like, yo, I don't know who all up in this church. I don't know if he gonna be there. Like, that was my mindset. I had protector mentality.
Yeah.
And even to a point when I'm teaching, and this is later on after I'm teaching Bible study, and he comes in and teaching vacation Bible school, and he sits in the class. So now I got to put on my assignment to teach this class, recognize he's in the room, be mindful of how it impacts her, in addition to how it impacts them. So many different dynamics that aren't spoken about that I have to put in this backpack and carry. So when we talk about the layers of trauma and how they impact on multiple levels, it runs deep.
Yeah. Yeah. But you being who you are.
It was a missing puzzle. We had no clue
That's right.
that we needed.
You know,
We didn't know that. We didn't know we needed it.
Until we got you.
Yeah.
We locked in.
For real.
So Joy, how are you feeling about this discussion?
I feel good. I think, you guys talking like, oh, well, if we can't film podcasts, don't film that podcast. And this is it. I think.
This ain't it. Don't try to get out of it.
It's politically correct.
What's he trying to get out of it?
I think everything is. I think being the youngest, really, like, it's a hard role to hold on to. Like, you're just the puppet following everyone, trying to think everyone likes you. You don't fit in. You're not in high school yet. Oh, George doesn't know. Like, all the stuff that happens with people. And I think that just everyone being down here, I slipped by, is like, I did my job.
You did.
So, like, that's some of it how we.
You always say how you feel like you've missed out on so many things because we literally lived the whole life before you were born. Yeah. I feel like we have proven to you that you have not missed much. And whatever you've missed, we told you about.
But what's crazy is that when your mother got sick, after I met y'all, yeah, that's right. Because we could have there around.
They're gonna rough the road to that house.
Throw a bunch of race. That's right. When Carla got sick, they came up. They were at the hospital. Him and Darren. They were right here in the hospital.
And I think that's when I met y'all. And I think we've been connecting ever since. Because it's like, hey, we all family.
But it's just funny how the dynamics of life works. I can go back to the moment when I think it clicked for Jalen and Jordan. It clicked for y'all at Virginia Beach.
Yep. That's when they got back in.
It really.
That's when they got back in.
3 hour top of TC.
That's when y'all got back.
really like seeing him with some TC was like, chill out, bro.
That's when Jay.
What did you say?
Well, 3 hours.
We were just talking. Just talk about everything. I don't remember what we talked about. But I remember I had after we finished talking, I was talking to much and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I was talking to Jalen for like 3 hours. It was like, about what? I said, we're just talking. I said, Jalen's really cool. Like, yep.
It was, I think, what was it? I know, at least for I know for a fact, because when y'all were younger, we were with y'all all the time.
Yeah.
Then I went to college. I came back and they was like, girl, we don't know who you are.
Well, then they moved.
And
So then you guys didn't see him as much as you used to because then we left.
who left?
So
They left. Yeah, sure. Well, they left. So they left. I went to school.
So
Then they left. So then when we do, I'll pop in and pop out here and there and stuff like that. And then I moved to DC and stuff. So I was distant. Even though it didn't feel like I was distant because I still be around. But Jayla and Joey, thinking about it in their mindset, they were young.
they were little.
So me, like, that's no retention, you know? That's not going to stick in their brain, even if I was with them for so long up into like a certain age point. So then I think when we had the house and then we did the pictures and stuff, when they saw the picture,
A little picture when you were
and they were like, wait, yeah, y'all. You've been on the ride. Y'all been here this whole time. Jayla and Joey, I used to be with y'all for real.
like, we didn't even be able to.
Y'all was all in it.
So Skip was like, these photos could be our inventory.
Y'all were in majority. Because y'all need to see.
Same thing. We were coming to Florida. I did that for sure. I've been talking about Florida.
Since we announced it.
Yeah.
See?
I'm like, look. I said, y'all, I'm putting my schedule down here the week. To be my go to town, y'all know I need 80 hours for these next 2 trips. Cause I'm gonna have my 80 hours. I don't burn a lot of time, but I'm like, I'm gonna work extra. The way it operates well. If I work 60 hours 1 week, and it just goes towards my 80. But man,
You made your mark for real, Joey. Both of y'all, Jayla and Joey. Y'all really had.
It's Florida.
I'm about to say the 2 oldest. I'm not the 2 oldest, but from you still. 2 of the 3 oldest to the 2 youngest. Y'all did exactly what y'all supposed to do here.
They win the mayor, don't remember anything else.
Hey family, real quick, if you're liking what you're watching, please hit that subscribe, hit that share, hit that like button so that others can benefit from what you're seeing. Please join us on So I'm Adopted podcast. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the So I'm Adopted podcast. We hope that this was informative and educational. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at So I'm Adopted. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel, So I'm Adopted. And again, thank you for listening. And until next time, make the choice to begin your healing journey.